am making progress on my calendar. Yeah, it's December 15th, 9:06 p.m. But I'm doing well. I'll show you a little sneak peek. See? Yeah. I haven't put all the poems in it yet, so I gotta check that. Then I gotta print it to see how it looks printed. And then I can have it on my website. Not to put pressure on myself, so by the end of this week. So it's still before the end of December. Yes, yes, New Year's is almost here, but it's not here yet. So I'm making good time, I'd say. So yeah, if you want a poetry calendar, it will be up soon. It's printable. You can have it on your desktop. You could have it, I think, as a wallpaper. Or you could print it, put it on your fridge, put it on your wall. Whatever speaks to you the most with a printable calendar. I do want to say that because I haven't talked about this yet, but I feel like my calendar, but I feel like my poetry calendar is a tough love poetry calendar. So it's gonna be sometimes brutally honest or sometimes blunt, but it's also gonna end with the last line or maybe the whole poem itself, reminding you to keep going, reminding you of hope, reminding you that you can find a way through it. You just gotta keep going. And so that's what my poetry book was for myself. It was tough love. That first chapter was tough love and me realizing a lot of ways I was holding myself back or how I wasn't doing the things I would talk about or would want to do, but I wasn't taking action towards it. And so by the middle and the end of my poetry book, you see me also questioning life and choices that others make or what we're taught in this world, what we see in this world, and how it impacts myself. And then I try to end with hope, with a way for me to keep going, to embrace myself, to do more, to take action. And so my poetry calendar is some honest parts or honest statements or honest thoughts with hope and with hinted solutions, but it's up to you of how you take that poem and also what you do next to move forward to bring some positivity or bring something new to your life. So yeah, I just wanted to share that because I never took the time to talk about that. But I will keep you updated on this journey. I am grateful to those that voted on my YouTube community post about the cover for the poetry calendar. Yay. So I'm glad to know which one you guys liked. It was, so 3 people voted and all 3 voted for the same one. So it was 100% everyone liked this cover. So you will see which cover that is. But yeah, stay tuned for this journey of making a poetry calendar. Hello, this is me recording my journey to creating my 2025 poetry calendar. And I appreciate you guys voting in my community post on YouTube. Let me show you. So I said I needed help. And the top one, option 1, used to be 100. It was only 3 votes and it was on 100 to 0. But now I have 5 votes and it's 80 to 20. So that means 4 votes did option 1 and 1 vote did option 2. And I also got a comment on YouTube that voted for option 1 as well. So I'm appreciating you helping me decide. I am gonna go with option 1 at this rate, so yay. Like I said yesterday, it's coming together. The calendar is coming together, and I can't wait to show you the final product, as well as how I edit adding the bookmarks in, because you get a free bookmark with each month is a printable or a downloadable bookmark. So yeah, you do have to cut it out, but it is an affirmation because I want to try to just remind us of that positivity or affirming ourselves or believing in ourselves. So yeah, I'm just trying something new with this calendar. But I'm having fun including you a part of the journey because this calendar is for you as well as for myself. And so I think it's cool that I'm taking you a part of it this time around because I started my poetry calendar in 2022. No, we're in 2020. So 2023. And I did it very poorly. It was definitely just for myself. Then in 2024, I was trying to do like for you and me, but it was still me teeter-tottering and learning how I wanted to go about it. But now 2025 is almost here, and I think I figured it out. I'm going to do my poetry class with Desiree each month, talking about the poem and maybe other poems that come up or maybe other thoughts that come up. And then also just scheduling a date where I share what the calendar is. And if you're curious about this, then you should check out the calendar and buy it. And so I guess instead of showing the poem, because then it's like, oh, why did I buy it if you're just going to show each month online? But I want to do something that teases at it. So I guess a quarter. So the first 4 months I'll show on Instagram, and then the rest is, you got to buy it. So I'll just maybe show the printable affirmation bookmark. So yeah, maybe that's how I'll go about it. So yeah, I just wanted to check in. We'll see how it goes as we continue on this calendar making journey together. Hello, long time no talk about this poetry calendar, but it is January 5th, 2025. Happy New Year. And I do officially have the calendar up on my website. Yay! So I am grateful that I got it done. But when did I get it done? What is your guess? Did I get it done December 29th? 2 days before Christmas Eve. 2 days before New Year's Eve. Did I get it done January 1st on New Year's Day? Or did I get it done today, January 5th, 2025? Drum roll, please. I got this calendar done January 1st, 2025. I was a little bit annoyed with myself for getting it done late because I wanted it done at least 2 weeks before the new year so that I could be promoting it and talking about it and having you guys have the opportunity to buy it to have it into 2025 January. But instead, the holidays, the traveling, the busyness got to me and I did not prepare as well. And so it was more about family time and just the holiday itself versus making time to write, versus making time to finish this calendar. And so it is okay. I did do my December challenge, so yay. I did keep up with that pretty well, so I'm happy with that for myself. If you did not know, I can show you this video that you can watch of me starting my December challenge, and then I have maybe 3 or 4 videos out of me doing my December challenge. And if you just want to check my Instagram or check my YouTube shorts, you can see some of the videos I posted for my December challenge. So yeah. Um, but the calendar is out. The calendar is available. It is kind of different. Well, it is different in positive ways, and it is different in other ways that I didn't plan. I don't know how to word this. I'm just gonna say it. So the positive ways is different is that the look of it, the style of it, I like it. Like I did not expect it to look like this, but because I was changing the colors from previous, I'll show you a picture of previous calendar, or you can watch my old videos of me each month posting about my poem for my poetry calendar. But now the colors are more a darker blue and a lighter brown versus it being light blue, and I don't remember the other color. I think it was like a darker brown or not like a medium, a smooth brown. I know these are not technical terms, but that's what I'm calling them right now. So yeah, because of that, it made me want to change the whole style of how the poetry calendar would look. Plus, I wanted it to feel more like the poetry book and professional. And so this was me figuring that out. And I want to thank you again. I think earlier in this video, I thank you, but I want to thank you again for helping me with the cover. This is the cover of my poetry calendar. And this illustration right here, I did it myself. So this is in my poetry book. You can actually find this illustration in my poetry book, minus what I'm sitting on. That is not in the book. But how I did that was I took a picture of myself and then I used PowerPoint, found a way to like kind of invert it. And so basically there's a way to make it as an illustration, and I did that for all the pictures or illustrations in my poetry book. That is how I did it. I was on a kick with PowerPoint for at least 2 years. I was enjoying it. It was fun. And then I lost the hype and enjoyment for it. I hope to get it back because I was learning a lot through PowerPoint and just making illustrations on my own and figuring it out. And I would love, love, love to say that I, illustrated my own book, but also the like surprise that is through PowerPoint, but it looks professional and well done. I want it. I would love to do that. It will mostly be a children's book. Probably be a children's book, I'll say. But I can say I did it for my poetry collection, so that is nice. But it would be cool to say I did it for a children's book as well. It's just a process because I did make a children's book through PowerPoint illustrations. You can find that video. But you don't see the whole book because it's not the story I wanted it to be, and I didn't realize it at the time, but it was just cool to have that physical copy in front of me, to see it, and just to see what I could do. And so it was very thrilling and exciting at the time, but it was not the story I wanted it to be. So therefore, I had to rewrite it. And then the version I rewrote had more kids in it. And I wasn't good at figuring out how to create or draw kids yet. And so I was like, that's above my skill level. And so I need an actual illustrator, and I didn't have the money for that. And so project got pushed aside. Did get to the point though. I did write the story the way I wanted it to be done, but it got pushed aside in the sense of I do have to find either an agent or a publisher for that book, or technically someone in my critique group. I do love her art style, and she could possibly illustrate for me, but I do not have the money right now to pay her. And so that's the other thing. I need the money to be able to pay an illustrator, and I do not have that right now. So yes, that was a side note, but the illustrations in my poetry book are self-done by me. So yay for that. And saving money. So that is another thing, saving money but adding something, because I liked how I know her name. I believe it's pronounced Rupi Kaur or Kaur. But I will just put up one of her books. I enjoy her illustrations, and I believe she did everything. And so, and I know that's a popular poetry book and poetry collection. And I know a lot of books were inspired by her collection. But I liked that touch of illustration. And so I wanted to sprinkle my own. But it's not for every poem, it's just sprinkled in my poetry book. So yes, that is the first positive, is the look of my poetry calendar and how I kind of got to add my own illustration to the cover. That was cool. And that was something surprising because I did not know how the cover would look. So thank you. And then it's not negative, it's just other things that came up on the other side of change, is that I did not get to creating videos for each poem. I had wanted to add a visual aspect to my poetry calendar to, I guess, incite my buyers more, to just have my customers be able to have the calendar plus a visual video to watch of the poem either be reenacted or be just spoken spoken out loud. Yeah. um yeah, but I did make one video, but I never put all the clips together to make it like an official done video. And again, time got away from me. And so that is not going to be a part of the calendar. It will just be the calendar when you purchase it. Another thing I had wanted to try to add was an affirmation cut out bookmark that you could cut out at home when you printed the calendar. I did not make the time to add that after each poem because I didn't want it to just be like, oh, here's an affirmation bookmark. I wanted to have like some message or just something to take away while you're seeing this affirmation, so that I guess one, you feel kind of why I was adding it, so you understood that, but also two, so it felt more connected to you, and it felt like an experience, and it felt like something you could take away, you could utilize. But I did not make the time to make the bookmarks. I kind of did, because on January 1st, I also made rough words. I made rough designs of it, but literally the design on each bookmark was the same. It's just the words changed. And I didn't know if that felt too rushed and too cheap. And so I don't want my calendar to feel rushed or cheap or not like I gave it time. And so therefore, I think the calendar by itself is strong and amazing. And I like the poems I found for each month. And adding the affirmation bookmark without taking the time to add it correctly, I didn't want to do. As well as the videos, because I did not make time to record anymore. And so then I would have to somehow find a link for you to get the exclusive viewing of it, which YouTube can have videos only be available for those that have the link. They're unlisted, and that's fine. But I did not make the time for any of that. And so I thought it was more important for me to get the calendar out there and for me to share it, because it is still valuable. And that's what I just want you to have, those valuable poems that may seem heavy hitting or may seem thought provoking, but they're also trying to provide you with hope, provide you with encouragement. And so I wanted you to have that. So let me show you some of the look. I know you got the beginning montage of me, or maybe it was in the middle, I don't know. But of me like having the process a little bit. But let me show you here also. So this is January. I do have a video up so that you can see me talk about January's poem more, and I call it like poetry class with Desiree. I really like that. So I'm so excited about that. So you can definitely check out that video. So yeah, this is the blue I was talking about, and then this is the brown. So everyone would be blue and brown. This is how mine's printed, where you have to flip it. Yours may print where it's just turn it around. I do not know. But yeah, it's still convenient and helpful. You can hang it up on your wall. You can have it as a wallpaper on your computer. You could print it maybe even smaller so that maybe you just want it like on your desk, or maybe you want it on your fridge. It is what your comfort is, to help you pass this poem on a random day, that you're just sitting in your home and you reread it and it makes you think of something else or it encourages you in another way. And so that's the goal from it. Mine is in my office, and so it's in front of my desk. And I do tend to look at it sometimes at random to remind myself to either like keep going with recording my poetry class videos or keep going with, oh, let me write or let me do something towards my author business, because I did that so I can do more. So yeah, it is encouragement in different ways. Or it just makes you think. As a poem, it could be a poem that just makes you stop and think. And sometimes we need that too. So yeah, that is how the journey went with making this calendar. So I can share price and I can share how I made it, because I did not talk about that. So the price of my poetry calendar is $5. It is on DesireeStories.com. This is the only place you can purchase it. There's the link is down below. If you'd like to support me, or if you'd like a poem a month, this is your way to have it from me. Also, how did I make this poetry calendar? I made it on Canva. So I basically used another template and then changed it. And so I was inspired by how this template looked, but then I also made it my own with like font, with size, with a border around it. And then, of course, adding my poems, because there was no poem on it. And so using that template as inspiration plus my poem, and then adding like it's Words to Books LLC, that's the business, and then when it was created, 2024 2025, copyright. And yeah. And so that's it. I added a border to make it look more professional, because it looks different, because my last year's looked professional as well. It's just this looks more cleaner, it looks tighter in its own way. To show you again, like, I just like the way it looks, and I incorporated the brown tone color, but the focus on this one is the blue. And then on the brown, I incorporate the blue text. Yeah. And it may look like black here, but this is blue as well. And so yeah, if you're getting a sneak peek of February, that's okay. Maybe it'll encourage you to still purchase my poetry calendar. So yeah. It looks simple, but it also looks neat, and I like that. It looks different than last year's poetry calendar, but it still feels like related to my business colors, which is more brown. Blue, I'm biased to because it's my favorite color, but not that shade of blue. The shade of blue for the poetry calendar this year is not the blue I'm biased to. I'm more biased to last year's blue. But I do like blues. Blue is my favorite color. And then mixed with, I want my business colors to be more brown. If you are subscribed to my newsletter, the background of all my newsletter emails are brown. And so yeah, I'm just trying to incorporate my business, my colors, while still, I guess, incorporating my favorite color. And yeah, so I got that and I like it. And also my poetry book is a light blue cover. And so there's that as well. And so all factors into how I created this poetry calendar. Let me know if you have questions. You can leave comments about the poem, the poetry calendar itself, or about how you think my process went or how I did it. If you have any feedback, if you have any advice, you can let me know. Thank you so much for watching. It is officially out, and I'm just happy to share it with you. You can watch January's poetry class video, or you could stay tuned for February's poetry class video to hear me talk about the poem more and in depth and have inspiration from maybe other poems, poetry styles, or just things that are happening in the world or in my world at the time. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, just write your story, and take care.